Hi friends, welcome back. First things first, I want to give Andromeda and Jane a shout out for finding the Easter egg in my previous video. Your guesses were very on point. Now, I want you to meet someone special. This is Earl, a very important guy. He is the first ever plant to survive in my care for longer than 3 months. In fact, I got him about 4 years ago, in this teeny tiny pot, and look at him now. He is a big happy boy. And him thriving for such a long time gave me confidence that I can take care of plants. I don't know if you could tell by now, but I never had a particularly green thumb. But since moving here and becoming a proud owner of a garden, I became really fascinated with plants. Rooms decorated with plants in pretty pots just look incredible, and also taking care of them turned out to be a very nice and relaxing hobby. So in the last few months I have acquired quite a big plant family. I am no plant expert by any means, but so far I seem to be able to keep them happy and alive. Today isn't going to be a plant tour, but rather we will focus on a crucial part of having plants in your home: the pots. Most of the modern off-the-shelf pots are a little too plain to complement my interior style. So, as I do for most things, I have turned to thrifting and DIY. I have acquired quite the collection of vintage pots that look incredible as they are. I usually get mine from eBay and Etsy, and a few I've inherited with the house. But then I had some vintage and modern planters that I wanted to make over to fit in with the rest. So, let's begin. When planning what to do with each pot, I have divided them in groups that will complement each other and some existing planters. Starting with the group that I will be spray painting black. Here I have a modern grey pot and a large ceramic pot that was already at the house. While these are drying, let's chat about the next group. So I got this statue planter of Helen from Etsy and then snagged a column for her to sit on from Amazon. It's not a common problem for me, but the whites didn't match, so I'm just giving them a quick coat to make everything consistent. Next, I have this stunning vintage plant stand and this green pot. The design on this pot complements the stand very well, so I'm making them a pair. I'm painting the stand white as well because it's a little bit too cream. However, I'm giving it a very light spray as I still want to see the crackle of the glaze. I'm using a glossy finish paint to preserve the ceramic look. Up next we have the green group. I am starting with a large pot that resided in my garden. It has these strange looking cuts on it, which I am filling with a little bit of polyfill. After it dried, giving it a quick sand and spray painting it in an ombre style with 2 shades of green. Here are a few other pots waiting to be painted. I like this one, but it doesn't match the others, so I'm painting it with the same technique as the big one. A great thing about spray painting ceramics is flexibility. If you love the result and are gentle with handling the planters, the finish stays on very well. But if you don't, you can just scrub it away with a sponge and some alcohol, like I am doing with this planter that I started to paint and realized it's turning out the exact same color, so I will just leave it as it is. Lastly, we have this pot and stand combo that unfortunately arrived broken. I glued it back together and filled the cracks, and after giving it a base coat of color, I will be further embellishing it. Now that the paint is dry, I'm moving on to further decorating some of the pots. For this one, I've chosen to dry brush the rim with some gold acrylic paint. With this one, I have gone in with some gilding wax on a sponge and then rubbed away the excess with some alcohol in order to leave the wax settled in the grooves of the embossed pattern. I have added extra wax on the rim and the base of the pot. Next I moved on to hand painting the flowers on the pot and stand combo. I have used wall paint from my art room so that the planter matches the room perfectly. I was going for an impressionist feel, so wasn't too precious about getting everything perfect. I painted the stems with a light green, then the flowers and buds with a dark shade of dusty pink, then the lighter shade for the highlights, letting each layer dry in between, of course. I added gold paint to the middle of each flower and a little gold to the leaves and the stems. And lastly, went back with a darker pink to add more dimension to the petals. Our last plant makeover for today is the large green pot. After painting it, the filled stripes were still a bit visible and I wanted to disguise that further. So I went in with the gilding wax again, taping off the edge to create a nice crisp line. Once I was done with that, I realized it was still looking a little too plain, so I decided to gold leaf it. I wanted to achieve a nice messy texture with the leaf, so I scrunched up a paper towel and dabbed the gilding glue on it in an inconsistent manner, making sure I don't leave any large drips behind. After the glue became tacky, which usually takes 10 to 15 minutes, I took the pot outside as this process is very messy. I scrunched up each leaf and simply stuck them onto the pot and kept working my way around. Once that was done, I've just smoothed it over with my hand. The texture is exactly what I wanted. At the end, I gave all my pots a good spray of glossy top coat to protect my designs. Then I spent the day repotting my plants and arranging them into their respective pots. I use a plastic insert pot with drainage holes for those planters that don't have any, in order to keep my plants safe from root rot. Others just go straight into the pot. And here are the results. I absolutely love how everything came together. As I'm still remodeling my home, I keep all the plants in one place for ease of care and to protect them from construction dust or accidental damage. Styling them for these final shots made me so excited for the time when I can finally truly decorate my home with plants, as they just look stunning and add so much interest and life to the space. I hope you enjoyed today's DIY adventures. Do you have plants? Let's chat in the comments section. I want to know all about them and your best tips and tricks. Thank you for watching this video till the end. And here's the Easter egg, a sneaky peek for the video to come. Can you guess what it's going to be about? If so, leave your guesses down in the comments. Thanks again, friends, and I'll see you soon.